Hola YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Darieny, and if you're new here, bienvenidos. You guys, I am in a little bit, not even a little bit, I am in shambles. I attempted to record this video yesterday. However, I left my SIM card that had the most space at home attached to my computer, and then I attempted to record this video on my phone, and my phone decided to remind me that my phone is running out of storage. So now here we are today, and now guess what? Yesterday I started to have this like itching feeling under my eye, and then today when I woke up I have this thing under. You can't really see it right now because I have makeup on, but when I don't have makeup on you can see it the most because it's red, and it's making my face look more swollen than it already is. But guess what? The show must go on. So some of you guys know that after 11 years, I finally went back to my hometown this year. And this recent trip was my 4th time going. I actually went to Guatemala mainly for personal reasons, medical reasons. Turns out I am getting better care for my reproductive health, my PCOS, and the hormonal aspect of things back in Guatemala than I am here in the States. So that was my main reason. Second reason was for the festivities that are going on, or that were going on in my town for that specific week of November. So because my older sister went for the festivities, I decided to go meet her there since I had things that I had to take care of. All right, so with all that being said, let's talk about my recent trip to Guatemala. And here I wrote down some stuff, and I also am trying to keep myself in line by looking at some pictures to remind me of certain things that I want to highlight. So my journey from New York City to Livingston, Izabal, Guatemala, aka La Buga, aka La Buga City, or simply called Livingston, started on November 20th. My first flight was at around 3 p.m. and I had a 5-hour layover in Fort Lauderdale. But luckily for me, we had a little bit of a delay coming out of New York, making my layover in Fort Lauderdale a little bit shorter. Then my second flight was at 11 something at night, landing me in Guatemala at 1:30ish, almost 2 o'clock. My plan was to get a hotel for when I get to Guatemala so that I could be able to freshen up before continuing my journey. However, my mom thought that that wasn't a good idea because I would pay for a hotel to only be there a short amount of time. Well, she is right, because one, I was not able to find a hotel that would allow me to check in that late, and also I actually did not have that much time to go to a hotel, do what I had to do, and then head out. So what I decided to do was just stay in the airport a little bit longer, and at around 3 o'clock I took an Uber to the bus terminal to take the first bus out to my neighboring town. So the first bus is actually scheduled to depart at 4 a.m. leaving me in Puerto Barrios at, I believe, 10 a.m. Well, guess what? Thanks to the good old Guatemalan roads, I did not get to Puerto Barrios until pretty much 1 o'clock. Once I got there, I actually had an appointment with my niece, who beautified my nails and my toes. And after that, we spent some time together. We ate something, and then I took a taxi from her house to the Muelle. I still haven't found the exact translation, but we are going to keep using port because that is an equivalent. So then I took the boat over to my town, and by the time I got to my town, it was the very next day from when I started my journey, and it was nighttime, so I just decided to rest.
Good?
A little bit more.
Good?
I'll take some more.
Oh my goodness. Are you sure?
I guess I'll do it. My first official day in Livingstone, I actually got ready. My cousin and I got ready to go to breakfast. We went to have breakfast at one of my favorite breakfast spots. After that, we ran some errands to pick up little things that I needed for the house that I would need for my stay there. And then we chilled for a little bit, and next thing we know, it's almost nighttime, so we got ready for the night. One thing that I noticed about my town, especially this specific vacation, is that I had the quickest but yet longest days. My sister and I were on vacation mode. We were on party mode. So a lot of the times we stood out late. So more often than not, we also woke up later than usual or later than people in my town. So by the time we were waking up, people in my town were pretty much almost halfway through their day, because people are not rigid, but people are very routine back home. So I showered, changed, went across the street to get my cousin, and that's when my aunt let us know that she can see on Facebook that people are going live because Pororo is going on. Pororo is one of my favorite festivities, one of my favorite things ever. For those of you who don't know, Pororo is a festivity and a dance. Pororo actually happens December 12th and it carries on to December 13th. It's actually our celebration to the Lady of Guadalupe. Different Latin American countries celebrate differently, but we have our own celebration, and one of those things include Pororo. Pororo is pretty much like the beginning of the festivities, in December, and the festivities then don't end until pretty much New Year's. Pororo, like I said, is a cultural festivity and a dance. It's more like a mosh pit, where we dance and jump to the beat of the drums. So when we knew that Pororo was happening nearby, my cousin and I were like, we gotta go, because everyone knows that is my favorite thing. And right before we were about to walk out the house, it starts to pour. And it was not no regular rain, it was a pour, okay? But luckily for us, the rain only lasted about 10 minutes. And once it was done, we left the house, and we actually assumed that Pororo was over because the street was going to be wet, and I'm sure that people were fearful that it was going to rain again. But when we were walking, we actually heard the drums. So then my cousin and I were like, we gotta go, let's go. And we joined Pororo. We were able to see it, and I was able to get in it, kitten heels and all. And listen, I got in there maybe once, maybe twice, maybe 3 or 4 times, okay? This is something that typically happens in December. So for it to happen In November, I was excited to join in because Lord knew that I was not going to be there December 12th and December 13th. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so when we got to where Pororo was happening on the street, we met up with my sister there. I'm sure she don't want me to talk about this, but that is an anecdote that I'm going to remember forever. My sister actually ended up taking a tumble because she was trying to go after me to tell me to be careful, one, with my heels and also with my hair, because I was actually wearing a wig. So yeah, she was trying to go after me and she kind of went like in a little bit of a ditch and she fell. I feel bad for her experiencing that, but that to me is a funny anecdote that I'm going to always remember. She trying to look out for me. That's what counts. Thank you, sister. Thank you. But after that, once it pretty much ended, my cousin and I ended up going towards El Parque to spend some time together, hang out, and also take some pictures, of course. And after that, we ended up going to meet up with my sister again, and we ended up having a couple of drinks. My cousin and I are pretty much almost the same person. We don't like to drink heavy, so 1 or 2 drinks and we are good to go. Not good to go in the drunk sense. I don't like feeling drunk, so 1 or 2 drinks and I'm just mellow and I just want to relax and chill. So after that, we went to the disco, the club, but we didn't stay a long time because it wasn't all that packed, so we just decided to just retire for the night. Hey you guys, so actually I didn't get to show you guys my outfit. I'm wearing a purple t-shirt, Lucky Charm. I got it from Bay's Closet. I'll be shopping in his closet all the time. I'm wearing it with some black shorts and my dunks. I'll show you guys when I get up. But right now I'm just sitting here enjoying the view, waiting for my cousin to get out of her meeting so that we can go to breakfast. I did my hair, I laid it down, and definitely my hair looks much better than it did before. And I actually like this hair. I grew to like it a lot, especially since people think that it's my hair, but it does suit me. I like it a lot. I'm sitting here enjoying my smoothie. You already know, gotta have me a papaya smoothie. I have these almost on a daily when I'm here, which is ridiculous, but it's good for your digestive system. That's what I tell myself. But it's just that good, to be honest. We'll keep enjoying this view, waiting, and I'll see you guys at breakfast and whatever else we decide to do today. We probably won't go to the beach. That was the plan for today, but it rained this morning, so it's a little gloomy out. I don't mind it because that means no extra heat. So yeah, but whatever we do decide to do, I'll keep you guys posted, and I'll see you guys at breakfast. I just love this view.
I can break you off, and your beauty do it all. Sweet on me when I don't blow. I can break you off, and your beauty do it all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I can break you off, and your beauty do it all. Sweet on me when I don't blow.
day 2, we woke up, of course, a little later, and by this time the place that I went to get breakfast the day before no longer had breakfast, and other places that I was willing to try breakfast from also no longer were serving breakfast. So I decided to take it upon myself to make breakfast for me and my sister. And this was the moment that I was reminded of things that completely left my mind about my town. So because I wanted to make breakfast, I told my niece to go get me, breakfast things, hot dogs, eggs, and bread. And then she goes and asks me, how many eggs do I want and how many hot dogs do I want? And I was like, oh yeah. Yes, in my town, you can literally go buy 1 egg, 1 hot dog, or even 1 roll of bread, or like 1 quetzal of bread. I don't know how many breads you get. I think it's like 3 or maybe 2 for $1. I mean a quetzal. Can't remember exactly, but that was the moment that I was like, oh, I completely forgot about this. Because here I am used to, buying the eggs by the carton, buying the hot dogs in the pack. And also while I was there during that week, I was also reminded of things that I don't wish to experience, like light constantly going out and the heat. But actually, this trip, it was very cloudy, so it wasn't as hot, because when it's really hot, like my skin suffers, especially my foot. Like my foot swells up crazy when it's that hot back home. And even though my foot started to swell towards the end of the trip, I did not mind at all. And also the biggest thing about it being cloudy, I came back my same complexion. So after all that, we actually decided to just chill and rest for the rest of the day, because we were scheduled to attend a concert by this local artist who is based in New York, but whenever he goes back home to like do a concert or to perform, he is a hot commodity back home. The concert actually was not as packed as I would hope it would be. But we understand, because that whole entire week was festivities after festivities, and people have to be mindful of their money back home. So after the concert, we ended up going to the club. It was a little bit more packed than the day before, so we stayed a little bit, and then we just decided to retire for the night. Oh god, y'all see this? This is one of the we gotta deal with in my town.
Lately, I ain't got no time. You can change my mind. What you need and what you like. Lately, I ain't got no time. You can change my mind. What you need and what you like. I could be paranoid. The observation before me, you had all them boys. I'm just the one you've been stalking. Yeah, I saw it soon as I walked. When I don't go, I can break you off, and your bitch do it all. No, nothing at all. No, nothing at all.
we woke up and just didn't do much. We actually attended a funeral, which of course I did not vlog because that's just a no-no. And then after that, my cousin took me to the park so that I can try Marabú, which is a food that I have not tried in decades. And I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but you ever had a meal or a dessert or anything food related that you haven't had in years, and when you have that first bite, it's literally exactly what you remembered it to be? Oh my gosh, that was the exact experience that I had when I tried the Marabú. So Marabú is a big old tostada. It comes with a cabbage salad, shredded beef on top, and then like this red sauce and shredded grated cheese on top. Did it have cheese? I can't remember, but I'll make sure to insert a picture so that you guys can see it. And listen, it looks so simple, but it is such a flavor bomb. And man, oh, it was so good. So after eating good old Marabús, we went home to change for the night because we were going to attend a cultural performance on the street in one of the neighborhoods in my town. And I must say, this performance was better, and it obviously had a lot more people than the concert, most likely because it was free. But man, that was the best performance I experienced that whole week. And that's an experience that I'm going to keep reliving because it was so good. Even though this was my 4th trip to my town, this was the most memorable because I was reminded of so many things that, oh gosh, I'm gonna get emotional. All right, we're gonna leave that for the end. So after the cultural performance, I actually ended up rushing home. So I rushed home to change again to get ready for the club. So after that, we went to the club. We actually stood there for a longer time than it did before because it literally felt like each night that we were going to La Disco, there was more and more people there. And obviously that made the vibes at the club, you know, more lively. So we were at the club until 3-4 o'clock. I actually ended up leaving. My sister and my other cousin decided to stay together at the club. I left. And then I went home and slept for about an hour. Then I had to wake up because we ended up serenading my aunt for her birthday with drums and with cohetes. I do not know the exact translation for cohetes. During the serenation, is that a word? But yeah, while my aunt was being serenaded, I was like, I need to have a birthday here because I forgot about all this. You know, being serenaded with the drums, the cohetes, and from what I remember back in the day, people even got like champagne showers or even just buckets of water dumped on them on their birthday, and then also the friendly birthday punches. But man, just being serenaded by the drums alone was A+++. All right, so now day 4 of my trip, I woke up and I actually did laundry. I washed clothes by hand, which I missed. Not all of my clothing though, let me be honest. And I only got to do it because my aunt wasn't there, because if she was there, we all know she would have said, give me them clothes. Once I finished with that, I just hung out for a little bit, and then we got ready to go see another cultural performance, which started 2.5 hours late. I could go on a rant about it right now, but I won't. And then after that, we went home, got ready to go to the club. We went to the club and we actually got a sweet surprise at the club. So that night, there was actually a concert going on by this artist called Little June. He is an Afro-Punta artist, and I believe his background is Belize and Honduran. He actually had a surprise performance at the club. That was very dope because he is just a vibe, you know. So it was nice for him to sing a couple of songs at the club. And this night, we actually broke night. We stood at the club until 5 o'clock in the morning. At 5 o'clock, we went home to shower, change, and join the main event, which was the Yurumein. For those of you who don't know, Yurumein is what we do on Garifuna Settlement Day, but also Yurumein is a place in St. Vincent where my ancestors came from. From the little that I know, my ancestors come from St. Vincent. They were, what is the correct word? I don't want to use the wrong term. Exiled? I believe that's the right term. And if it's not, I am sorry, I will correct myself. But my ancestors come from St. Vincent, Yurumein to be exact. They were exiled from there, and the people that escaped or that left settled along the coastal side of Central America, Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, to name a few. And during their trajectory, they brought items from St. Vincent with them. So on November 26th, it was the 221st celebration of our ancestors settling roots in Livingstone. This day was a very emotional, joyful, but yet proud moment for me, because when I was young, I didn't get to experience Yurumein a lot because it actually started, I believe back then at 5:30 in the morning, and my mom was not comfortable with me waking up that early. So more often than not, I either met Yurumein halfway or I would just attend the church service after Yurumein. So this was actually the very first time, and I'm getting emotional. This is not helpful, but this November 26 was the very first time that I was able to see Yurumein from the very beginning to the very end. And I did not attend the church service because I was freaking tired. Like I said, we broke night the night before, so I was exhausted. But this day, I was able to see the full presentation, which honestly I had no clue about. So the presentation starts with them coming on a handmade boat to our town to settle their roots. They were welcomed, you know, and they brung those things that they were survived. So typically it was coconuts, green bananas, or even banana trees or leaves, you know, cultural things. I wish I had more context to give you guys. History says that while they were leaving, what kept them going were specific cultural songs. So once they settle roots, they parade commences, you know, with those songs, with the drums, and people dance and sing those songs. And, you know, oh man, it was woo. And also, according to the little that I know, because I don't know a lot, there is 2 Yurumeins that begins, because one group settled or entered from a specific area in our town, and another group entered from another area in my town. So as the parade continue, the 2 meet with each other. They continue together until they go to church for the official service. And I was able to experience all of that up until the church aspect of it. But I know what the church service and festivities look like, so I was okay with stopping my morning there to be able to go home and sleep. After the Yurumein entered the church, my cousin and I left because, like I said, we were tired. Actually, even my sister left as well. We were tired. We grabbed breakfast right there on the street, and we ended up going home. We ate breakfast and literally crashed until midday that day. I believe I woke up at around 4. And to give you guys context, Yurumein is typically from 6 in the morning, or that specific day it was from 6 in the morning, and he has to enter the church at 10 to start service. So I crashed from 11 in the morning to around 4 in the afternoon that day. Once I woke up, I had to get ready. My cousin and I attended church that day. Since we didn't go to the morning service, we went to the night service, and then I went to the party for the christening of my grandchild. And saying that makes me feel old. I'm not comfortable with that idea, but that's how it is back home. So after I woke up, we went to church. Then we went to the celebration or the party for my grandchild's christening. So we attended the party. That was fun. And after that, my sister went to the club, but I didn't go to the club because the next day I had to take the first boat out of my town to go to my neighboring town to start my treatment. So I needed to rest. So for the remainder of my trip home, I was pretty much just spending time with family, doing treatment, and also relaxing, because treatment required a lot of rest, which, to be honest, I did not get. But yeah, so that was the conclusion of my trip. This trip, even though it was my 4th trip, was the most emotional. I actually cried almost every day, because for a long time, oh god, this video is gonna have to end soon because I am getting emotional again. But the reason why this trip was so emotional is because I felt like I was reconnecting with my roots. For a long time, I was trying my best to just focus on the things that I had to focus here in the States to better my future and also my present, that to a certain degree, I didn't push Guatemala aside, but I tried to not be so Guatemala focused, because I felt like that was just pulling me back. I can't explain it. Like, I just can't explain it. I know what it is for me in my brain, but I feel like the words are not matching how I feel or what I want to say. It's much longer and more complicated than what I'm saying right now, because I don't want this video to be too long. But this trip was very emotional for me, because for once in many years, I felt connected to something. I felt connected to my roots, to my culture, my language, my food, you know. And I can actually see the difference, because in the last couple of years, especially this year, I have been myself. You know, I've been comfortable speaking Spanish in places. I've been comfortable wearing my natural hair. I've been comfortable being just, you know, just being me pretty much. And I didn't realize that there was something missing. And also because there was something missing, I was being different, to say the least. And I'm gonna end this video right here because I've talked a lot.
Garifuna nuhuya tekini bukio. Here we go. Get in Vex, I glad to be for. When she get in up, I glad to be. I want gas. I want gas. I want gas. Yes, I. Hey, mama, he give away. Hey. Back it up now. He give away. Watch this time. Here we go, baby. I want to give one. I want to give it a. I want to give two. He said, I want to give it a. I want to give three. I want to give it a. He said, 1, 2. I want to give it a.
¿Dónde estás? thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And now that this video is going to be done, I'm now going to be able to focus on other videos. I have a few flight attendant related videos that I would like to put out. And while I was in Guatemala, I was paying attention to the lingo, so I also have some Guatemalan slang videos coming up as well. And I don't know when I will be going back to Guatemala. I have an idea because the doctor wants to see me in a couple of months, but I don't know if I'm gonna be vlogging that because there's most likely not gonna be much happening, but we'll see. But I will try my best to continue to show aspects of my country, mainly my town, my culture, and all that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Ciao.